Hi, everyone. This is Monique Hayes. As you know, I am the allied health counselor that's in your Canvas shell. I am in 3 nursing Canvas shells right now, Nursing 101, Post-Bac Nursing 132, and Nursing 231. And I am meeting with several students right now, and you're all having a little bit of difficulty with your time management. We notice this partially because people don't actually change their work schedules or their life around to be in nursing. And I know it's hard because what happens is you're like, look, I took all these prereqs while I was working full time, or what many of you consider part time, which is still a lot of hours. And so I just wanted to give you this quick workshop about time management because it's come up several times when I was meeting with several students. So how many hours do you have in a week? 168. No more, no less. Every single person gets 168. So I'm going to use a sample nursing student schedule. I was talking to someone, she said, the student said, please use my schedule, because I was like, wait, this isn't going to work. How is this working? So all of you have a similar schedule. So you have lecture, you have lab, you have clinicals, skills, all of that. 18 hours of class. Okay, great. Everybody has that marked down. Everybody knows we all have the same 18 hours for school. And then the student I was speaking to also has a work schedule. And many of you have these interesting work schedules, especially because you're going towards nursing. So some of you work per diem, some of you work weekends, every other weekend, nights and weekends. I keep talking to students who are working overnight shifts, getting off at 7 and going to clinicals at 8. I'm not sure how you're functioning. And if you are functioning, you might not be functioning as well as you hope. So this student was working 7 p to 7 a.m. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then every other weekend from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. So 12. So working those 2 shifts. So what happens is, what that means is this person is working 36 hours a week, twice a month. Those other 2 weeks with the weekends, they're working 50 hours a week. Look at what you're working, count up the hours for the week. Don't just say, well, I only went to work 3 days. Well, if you work 3 12s, that's 36. If you worked 4 12s, 5 12, like this, if you're working overnights, you need to count up these hours. 168 hours is all we get. This person I was talking to also has an 11-year-old child, also has a live-in partner, but that person works full-time, which means they can help, but not as much. So juggling a child, the daycare situation, or the back and forth to school, the homework time, all of that takes time. So I want to show you how all of this adds up into your schedule. So if you look at nursing, nursing tells you that basically you're in class for 18 hours. But then you're supposed to do 2 hours of homework and studying in order to be productive in this actual program. And many of you aren't doing that amount of work. So if we take the sample student I used, we had 168 hours in the week, and then we subtract 18 hours for class time, which we talked about. Then the 50 hours. Yes, I took the bigger hours because many of you are working the bigger number of hours and haven't cut down yet. 50 hours per week. Subtract the 49 hours for sleeping. So that's 7 hours average. I know many of you are sleeping 4 to 5 hours, but that's not good. It's not helping your brain work well. And then we have 17.5 hours for eating per week, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I know you're going to tell me, I don't eat breakfast. It doesn't take me an hour to eat lunch or dinner. I get it. This is just an estimate, and I'm going high on purpose to show you something. 14 hours commuting. It's literally an hour each way, depending on who you are and where you're going. If you're going to the Watermark, and you live in the Northeast, it's going to take you a while to get down here. So I'm being nice by giving you 60 minutes each way. But some of you, your commute time takes longer, and you know this. 7 hours per week. Other. What does that mean? Getting dressed. You have to get dressed to go to school. Even to be on Zoom, I had to put clothes on to do this video. Grooming, doing your hair, shaving, all of that, showering, being prepared for the day takes a little bit of time. So 7 hours, okay? All together, 155.5 hours is what is being used. This student was using 155 hours. So does it add up? How much time's left? 12.5. That's left for studying, spending time with family and friends. The bigger issue is, how are you going to pass with 12.5 hours of study time? You're not. You're going to be always feeling like you're behind, always feel like you're floundering, you're drowning. Oh my gosh, there's not enough hours in the day. Well, there were. You used them the wrong way. So if you look at this 50 hours worth of work is the main thing that you can maneuver. And I get it. You got bills, you got a mortgage, you got a car payment, you got rent, you've got daycare, you got stuff, yes. But there's a reason why we tell you very early on when we're sending you emails about registering, this is a full-time program. Cut down your work hours, figure out your schedule before school starts, because you may not recognize that you're spending so much hours working and everybody gets the same amount. And so even if we took 10 hours off of working, that still only gets you to 22 hours of homework and studying. Is that enough? No, because right here it says 36 hours you should be studying. 36 hours. 12.5 is where this student's at because they're working all these hours. Now, even if I took it down to 36 hours per week, which is what the student works twice a month, it still isn't helping. You need to be planning out your calendar and planning out your schedule ahead of time. So what does that mean? You take a planner, and I sent you an email about this, but I really want you to understand how it works. So this student put in when the skills lab is, put in when nursing fundamentals is, put in when they eat lunch, when they eat breakfast, when the quizzes are, when they're prepping for clinicals. They put in everything. You can notice on Saturday and Sunday, this student is putting exactly what they're studying for. 8 o'clock, study for the math test. 9:45, the abbreviation test. Then 10 to 12, open lab. Then 1 to 12 to 1:30, these are military times, sorry. Groceries, run errands, hang out with Sandy. Then the next day, they're going to go for a run, something to take care of them and clear their head. But then they're going to do quizzing themselves. They're going to make flashcards. They're going to review the clinical packet. They're going to read. You need to write down everything. You need to record your time inside of your planner. If you're just saying, oh, well, today I'm off, I'm going to study. You're going to study what? What time are you going to study? How many hours are you going to study? You're just going to pretend that you're going to study. And then the whole day gets away from you and you're like, oh man, I was supposed to go over the endocrine system today. I was supposed to go over cardiac, and you never did any of it. You need to write it down. Then you need to follow it. How long is your commute time? People always mistake how long it's going to take them to do things. Whether it's, I wrote in my planner I was going to study for 2 hours, and it actually took me 4 hours to understand the entire cardiac system. Or, I planned my commute time for 30 minutes, but then I was late for clinicals. Or I planned my commute time for 45 minutes, and there was a 5-car pileup. I didn't plan for that. You need to plan for all of this stuff because, of course, there's no excuses in nursing. You're going to a hospital, anything could happen. At the end of the day, you need to write it all down and plan for things to come up. See how part 3 says employment? So literally, you put your classes in first, you put your study time in first, then you put in work. And I get it. You all told your employers, guess what? I'm in nursing school. Congratulations. Yes, I got in. Everybody was excited for you. However, they didn't cut down your hours because you didn't ask for it. You said, I'm in nursing school. They're going to understand. That doesn't mean that they're going to cut down your hours without you asking for it. If you work part-time, but you're asking for extra hours, stop. Put your extra hours into studying. So when you look here, this person actually is writing everything out. And so the more you write out, the more you know, no, I don't have time to go do this because in my planner, it says I'm supposed to be doing my flashcards right now. No, I don't have time to go hang out with this person because look, it says I have a quiz tomorrow. So we talked about how many hours of studying. Nursing says this is 54 to 56 hours worth of work. This is your full-time job. So if you take the 168 and you subtract 54, let's subtract 56 to be nice. 168 minus 56 takes you to 112 hours. That's what you have left for sleep, eating, exercise, hanging with friends, all of that stuff, because the studying should have came off the top first. And so if you feel like the last exam you took, the first exam you took, you didn't do very well, there's probably a reason for that. Now, if you tell me you're studying 56 hours a week and you're getting it all in and you still didn't do well, that's a different discussion we can have at a later time. You can make an appointment with me. But usually the issue is you're not putting in the time. You just think you are. 2 hours a day is not going to help you pass a class. So here's another sample of a full calendar. So this person did their calendar a little bit different. They wrote when their class was on Monday, and then they wrote 2 hours for study. But then they wrote what they would do, develop the basic outline. Then later it says 4 hours. During the 4 hours, they're going to finish the outline work, and they're going to finish the outline, and they're going to work on a study guide. Later, still on the same day, there's an exam, so they need to study chapter 1 through 5. They're going to study for the patho, 4 hours. So they mark down what their entire day consists of. It says when they're in class from 8 to 12, then it says what they're going to do. Same thing for Tuesdays. Clinicals from 6 to 3. They're going to start working on their care plan. They're then going to keep working on it, 1 hour to study. For patho, 2 hours they're going to study. So they're going to work on the care plan for 1 hour, then they're going to study for patho for 2 hours. This is how you need to break it down. You can see they're writing down the exact chapters they're going to study and review for the pharmacology quiz. They're writing it all down. So instead of being like, study 5 to 8, study what? How do you know you did it? How do you know you learned it all? How do you know you're ready for the exam? You don't unless you're checking things off. Like, yes, I know the cardiac system inside and out. I know the endocrine system inside and out. I know how to do a head to toe assessment inside and out. You don't know if you're not reviewing and saying, okay, check this off. I learned this. I know this. I know this. And doing the repetition of studying for it. This is just a sample of a 15-week course load. It's not nursing specific, but it's showing that an average student who's being successful with a good GPA is somebody who's sleeping a good amount of hours. The more you sleep, the better you're going to do. The more you make sure you're eating well-prepared meals versus grabbing fast food, the better your body's going to feel, the better your brain is going to work. You need to be studying the amount of hours. You need to find time for self-care and to take care of you, so that you can be the best nursing student that you want to be. The reality is our program is hard, but it's hard for a reason. When people get out, they pass the NCLEX exam. On the first try, the majority of them do. You want to be one of those people. And so that means you need to learn these habits now so that you're not scrambling later during the semester, going towards exam 4, going, they told me I need this or I need to withdraw, but I don't want to withdraw. I think I can make it. But all along, you may not have been getting the highest grades. Well, how do you do that? You cut down your work hours now. We're in October. There's time for you to make changes to your schedule. If you need to make an appointment with me, you can email me. I'm going to send an email out to all the Canvas shells. You can reply back to that email, or you can email mhayes@ccp.edu. I'm wishing you a wonderful semester, and I hope you do great on exam 2, and study hard and cut down those work hours. Have a great day.